I'm at that stage in my life where I need to be a little bit more serious about my health, and there are just some things that I really have not been on top of. Ever since I was in my 20s, I've been struggling with really high cholesterol. And I've been to several doctors and they all say the same thing. Based on all of your other blood test results, this is most likely a hereditary issue and there's really not much you can do about it aside from taking medication. But I'm stubborn as all heck and I don't want to be on medication from now until the day I die. So I want to see if I can diet and exercise my way into having better cholesterol. The second issue I'd like to tackle is I really have horrible sleeping habits. I always have ever since I was a kid. I struggle with falling asleep and then I struggle with staying asleep. Oftentimes something will wake me up at like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and I can't get back to sleep until 5 a.m. I really survive on coffee. Like when I wake up in the morning, I need that cup of coffee in order to just get through the morning, and then a second one at lunchtime in order to get through the rest of the day, and then the cycle repeats itself. So not great. So what I would really love is if I could somehow fix my sleeping habits so I can get a good amount of sleep at night and stop having to rely on coffee to get through the day. So I've been wearing this Fitbit for about 2 years now, and I got it mostly because that was around the time that I was really getting into working out regularly. So I wanted a way to track my workouts and I really wanted to improve my sleep even back then. What I really was looking for was a device that wouldn't add to the amount of distractions that I have going on around me. Because when I work, I like to really lock in and focus, and things like constant notifications are really distracting to me. Like if I get a DM on Instagram and I open it and I'm gonna end up doom scrolling for like 30 minutes because I forget that I was even supposed to read the DM and I just get sucked in on all of the videos that's on there. For those reasons, I've been wanting to get a smart ring for a while now. I find them more discreet so I can wear them for any occasion. There's no screen, so there's no additional distractions. And out of the blue, Ultrahuman reached out to me to ask me to make a review video for them. My first reaction was, did I manifest this? Because I have been talking to my brother about getting a Ultrahuman for quite a while, and then all of a sudden this opportunity comes up for me. So I was really quite stunned. The first thing I noticed about the Ultrahuman is that it is way more in depth than my Fitbit. The Fitbit says it can offer you all these additional details for a subscription, but this, just as like the base model that you get, it gives you so much information, so much to the point that I actually found it really overwhelming. So I am giving myself 30 days to fix my cholesterol and my bad sleeping habits, and I will be tracking my progress throughout the month using the Ultrahuman Ring. It is gonna be my first workout wearing the ring. First impressions today on day 1. It's a lot more comfortable than the ring from the sizing kit. So on the sizing kit, you want to get like a snug fit, and that'll be good for when you get your actual ring. Gonna be testing out how it does with tracking this workout. So something else that I was really curious about was whether or not the ring would be annoying when I'm doing the strength training. Usually I have gloves on. When I tried it out with the tester kit, I put the glove over it, and I think I'll do that to prevent scratches on this thing. Finding the motivation to work out consistently has never been a problem for me. It's not even about losing weight or anything like that. It's more like I can see how drastically my mood is affected when I have not been working out. A lot of it has to do with keeping my sanity. So I definitely did feel it under the gloves. There are certain ways on how you grip the dumbbells where you feel the ring a little bit more, but it wasn't so bad that I couldn't work out. And it's more painful the heavier in weight that you go. So when I was using the blue ones, which are just 10 pounds, and they're like covered in rubber, so those didn't hurt as much. But then when I switched to the ones with the steel bars in the middle, I definitely felt it a little bit more. I'm glad I put on the gloves because I felt safe in knowing that the ring wasn't getting scratched up in that way. Little bear, are you having fun exploring a new place? I used to box a lot, which I really, really miss, but my boxing trainer is no longer available and I haven't found a new trainer yet. So I was invited to join this tennis group, so I just decided to go for it. The timing was just right. I wasn't boxing anymore and I needed a new exercise to have some cardio in my life. So far, I'm finding tennis fairly enjoyable. I like the new challenge. We've been taking the past couple of months trying to figure out how I can play tennis without affecting my carpal tunnel and tennis elbow too much. The first couple of sessions, it really hurt and I really thought that, oh, I can't continue, this isn't a sport for me. And then the trainer suggested that maybe I should try playing with my left hand. Now what we're trying to do like a double-handed, so it's basically like I'm doing backhand on both sides. So I get the extra support from doing two hands for my forehand and then two hands for my backhand. That seems to be working out well. I'm experiencing a lot less pain. Still TBD on how well the tennis is gonna go. I must look like such a mess. I just got back from playing tennis with the ring on. So one thing I did notice was it took me a while to adjust to having it on my hand with the grip. I noticed that the more that I played, the ring had a tendency to rotate around my finger. So the sensor, they advise you to have the sensor at the bottom of your finger here so that it's like tracking to the best of its abilities. But obviously when I'm playing, I can't keep checking on it. And I noticed that it tended to move around and away from where it was supposed to be. So I wouldn't notice until I was taking a break and then I was like, oh, I have to readjust this. On my way to the gym to work out, I think I'm gonna run on the treadmill for a bit. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but back in college, I used to run track. So I actually used to run a lot. And I think like a couple of weeks ago, my brother and my nephew and I decided to go for a jog just outside, like a quick outdoor run. And I was shocked at how quickly I got winded and I felt like I was dying. It wasn't a great feeling. So I don't know, I just felt kind of bad. So now I'm going to go run on the treadmill for a little bit in the hopes that it improves my endurance. For core and mobility, I like to do a Pilates class at least twice a week, and I find that that's really been helping with my core strength. I managed to get some sleep last night. Hooray! I did wake up at 5 a.m. I think, and there was a moment when I was worried that I wouldn't be able to fall back asleep, but thankfully after like a sleep meditation, I was able to go back to bed. Anyway, the app says to help with my cholesterol, I need to be taking psyllium husk. So, psyllium husk it is. I'm gonna start taking one of these every morning and see how that affects me. My parents used to make us take this when we were kids, I remember.
but it scared me because, hang on. See, it comes, the husk comes in a dry form, and then you add water, and basically you have to drink a whole glass of water, and then you have to drink a lot of water. At least that's what they told me when I was younger. Like, you have to keep drinking a lot of water, otherwise it'll solidify in your stomach. And that scared the crap out of me. So I never took it because I was like, I'm not convinced I can drink enough water. But now, as an adult and actually reading the instructions on the box, it says you have to take it with an 8-ounce glass of water. Actually, it just says you're supposed to take it with half a glass of water, and then follow it up with another glass, and then you should be good. And then just drink your regular 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. So this has been my go-to breakfast recently. I make a soft-boiled egg, add some Dijon mustard, a little bit of mayonnaise. That much should be okay. Chip in here on my own. Salt. And a little bit of pepper. And you have a really quick egg salad. I'm just gonna pop that on a piece of sourdough, and that is breakfast.
We have kung pao chicken, vegetables, and I ordered a vegetarian Bicol Express from Vegan City here in Cebu, and a mushroom bulaklak. I know, it's still deep fried, but you know, I gotta have a little bit of my vices. So tomorrow is the final day of our challenge, and tomorrow I'm going to go to the hospital and get my cholesterol tested again to see if all of this has amounted to anything. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm super nervous about it. I'm really scared that I'm gonna go and find out that all of it was for nothing. But what can you do? So I just got my test results back, and I didn't do so well. I've been exercising like crazy, and I only managed to bring my cholesterol down by 10, what is it, points? I don't know, by 10. And I just feel a little disheartened, honestly. Like, I feel so, like, what's the point? Maybe they're right. Maybe there's nothing I can do, you know? My brother actually went to a nutritionist, and it really helped him fix his diet. So he was telling me that he'll set up an appointment, and maybe I should go talk to someone and figure out what it is I'm doing wrong, because it feels like I'm doing everything I should be doing. So I don't know. I'm feeling a little sad. I booked an appointment with a nutritionist to see if there is anything I could be doing to improve my diet. Oh, wish me luck. Hi. I just had my appointment. A little shy to be vlogging in public as usual. I just had my appointment with the nutritionist, and it was quite unexpected. Like, I had no idea what to expect. I was honestly really nervous. Really nervous to be told, oh, there's so many people. Sorry, awkward. Vlogging in public is so nerve-wracking. Anyway, I was saying, it was quite unexpected for me, and I was really afraid that I'd go in there and be told, you can't have this, you can't have that, you know, and then to have to further cut down on my diet. But it was actually like just how to eat right for your body, and just being told by a professional who studied it what the correct things to eat are. So I'm really excited to give this a shot, and I really hope it helps. So the plan moving forward is to amp up the amount of fiber in my body. So I'm going to start eating a lot of black rice in the meals because apparently black rice has higher fiber content and more nutrition. So I've substituted with that. And I'm gonna start having oatmeal every day for breakfast just to start off my day with a lot of fiber. And also I'm going to eat a little bit more pescatarian, more vegetarian. Instead of pork and beef, I'm just gonna be eating a lot of fish and then chicken if I'm really, really craving something meaty. Introducing a lot more like beans and legumes and tofu into my diet. And we're gonna give that a shot for a couple of weeks and see if there's even an incremental improvement in my cholesterol results.
The first time I made this recipe, I was actually able to make so many, like I think 8 of the brownie protein balls. I think that was because I was mostly forming them with my hands, so they were a lot smaller. And also I think I used more oatmeal to make oat flour actually, because it was a lot drier before and I could like mold it with my hands. But I don't want to like add more oat flour to this, mostly because I don't think it will incorporate properly, not with this type of blender. So I'm just gonna leave it as is and see how it goes. I mean, I've tasted it. It tastes amazing. They're just huge portions because I have to use the ice cream scoop instead of using my hands because it's just too gooey to form with my hands. But it tastes so good. I think I'm gonna top it with a little finishing salt. Look at that. Okay, these are definitely much bigger than I made last time, but they look amazing. Ooey gooey protein date balls with salt. I need a better name for them. These now have to go in the freezer for a couple of hours so they can set up, and then you can enjoy your treat.
Let's talk about sleep. Like I said, I have such a hard time falling asleep. I find that I have such an active mind that when I shut everything off and try to go to sleep, then the rumination starts in my head and then I just can't fall asleep. And as I said in the beginning of the video, another problem that I have is if I am woken up in the middle of the night, I just can't get back to sleep. One of the biggest things that has really helped my sleep, and I really hate to say this, is I've moved my dog out of my bedroom at night. He used to sleep with me and it's not his fault. I've trained him to wake me up when he needs to go to do his business. And the problem is after we've been out for like 5-10 minutes for him to do his thing, comes back in, I can't fall asleep. So He's now inside his kennel outside my room, and that just lowers the chances of me waking up in the middle of the night, and I've been sleeping through the night so much better because of that. I'm so sorry, little Batchy Bear. I take like a sleepy time tea that's like, you know, chamomile and just relaxing things, something warm to kind of like, I don't know if it's just a placebo effect, but to kind of just like put me in that mindset of we're going to slow down now and we're going to try to fall asleep. And that has been working out really, really well for me. So tomorrow is the day of my blood test, and we will find out if all of this has been for nothing. I'm gonna wind down with my sleepy time tea and try not to overthink about tomorrow. Wish me luck! This is the part of the night that I dread the most. I'm ready for bed, which means I gotta get Bachi out of his bed and bring him to his kennel. Bachi Bear! Bachi Bear! I'm sorry, baby. Come on. I'm sorry, I know, you're so comfy. Oh! I'm so sorry. Okay, let's go upstairs. Okay, come on. Okay. Lights off.
That's done.
I got my test results this morning and I am so happy because after just 2 weeks, I managed to lower my cholesterol by 50 milligrams per deciliter. Yes, I looked up what the unit of measure is called before I filmed this video. What I learned was my level of activity was really good and all I really had to do was maintain that. So because I was leading such an active lifestyle, I was able to kind of balance out the unhealthy food that I was eating. But even just looking back at this video, even though I had given up pork and beef at that point, I was still eating a lot of like fatty food. Like I was still eating deep fried food, a lot of dairy, cream, mayonnaise, cheese. So we cut that out of my diet and I was surprised to see how we cut out so many little things here and there and how much of an impact that made. I mean, okay, I was able to lower my cholesterol by 50 milligrams per deciliter in just 2 weeks versus killing myself by working out every day for like the past month. And not just even the past month, because this is a lifestyle that I've been living for the longest time. So I've been doing this for months and months and months, and that didn't really make very much of an impact on my cholesterol. It is still above what is considered healthy, what is like within the range of what's acceptable. But the point is, in such a short period of time, it has gone down and I still have some work to do, but it's a positive move forward for me. I said at the beginning of this video that the doctors told me my cholesterol was most likely hereditary, but I always felt like that meant it was something that I couldn't fix or affect on my own. And speaking to the nutritionist that I went to, he explained to me that actually, yes, you are genetically predisposed to having higher cholesterol, but there's such a thing as epigenetics where changes in your lifestyle and just like discipline and hard work can actually help you to improve your overall health. With sleep, it's been really hard, I'm not gonna lie, but I was surprised at how quickly my body adjusted to the new sleep schedule. I noticed that I start to feel sleepy a lot earlier than I used to. I always used to think that I just can't fall asleep early, like my body just doesn't get tired, but I realized I wasn't giving it the best chance that it could have to fall asleep earlier. I wasn't creating that environment. Just doing little changes has really gone a long way into helping. And I can track that so well with the app. And it actually alerted me that in the past 30 days of me trying to get better sleep, that I was able to accomplish that for 28 out of the 30 days. So that's a big win for me. Speaking of the Ultrahuman app, there was this one night where I just could not get to sleep. And it's because this app actually recommends when you should take your caffeine based on your level of alertness. It assumes that the level of adenosine in your brain has gone down, and then says you should be able to take your caffeine now and it's going to be more effective for you. And after a few good nights sleep, it said that I had cleared enough brain waste from the sleep from the night before that I've earned myself an extra cup of coffee. So I drank that extra cup of coffee, and then that night I couldn't fall asleep. So that was one of the bad nights of the past month, actually. So something that I've learned is to take the advice that the app gives you with a grain of salt, obviously. Like, it's more important to know your own body, and I know now that I'm just more sensitive to caffeine, and I really can't have that second cup, even if I really want it. Let's talk about the ring for a moment. How did I feel about how well it tracked me throughout this month? I think that for sleep, for your stress levels, it can even track your period, which is like one of the really big things that I wanted from this ring. It can track if your HRV starts to drop and your temperature starts to go up, and then it tells you that, hey, you're about to start your cycle, just so you know. So I thought that was really interesting. There was a time when I was feeling a little fatigued, and it actually alerted me that my temperature had gone up. So I think I was starting to come down with something. So I took that as a sign that I need to rest. So I didn't do any workouts for that day. I just kind of like chilled, and I feel like I was able to prevent an illness because of that. That's not scientific at all. That's just an anecdote. There was one time where it glitched and it did not record my sleep at all for that entire night. And I messaged their customer service about it, and they told me to make sure that the ring is tight on my finger, make sure that it isn't able to spin around on your finger, and that the battery is fully charged, because the battery got so low that it went into like critical mode, and then it just didn't track me for that night. This app is able to send me push notifications. I allowed that. It tells me when maybe it's time to get up and move around a little bit. It tells me when it notices a change in my behavior, like a change in my HRV, a change in my sleep, things like that. Like, it alerts me all the time. So I was thinking, why can't it alert me when the battery is low? Because it does not have a screen. So unless I'm constantly checking the app, which sometimes I forget to do before I go to bed, then I don't know that the battery is actually low. So that's something that I wish the ring would do. When they told me that the ring shouldn't be moving around on my finger so much, it made me think about when I was testing this out with the sizing kit. So when the sizing kit arrived, they advised you to test out the different sizes for at least 2 to 3 days, doing your everyday activities, even going to bed with it, so you can really gauge what size is the best for you. I was choosing between a size 7 and a size 6. The size 7 felt way more comfortable, but one night while I was sleeping, it actually fell off my finger. The size 6 fit on my middle finger and felt too tight on all the other fingers. But I decided to go for that because at least I felt secure that it wouldn't fall off while I was sleeping. So I was surprised to find that when it arrived, the size 6 actually felt very comfortable. It felt like how the size 7 ring felt. And I compared it against the test kit. It is the same size, but it really feels much more comfortable. Like when I was trying out the tester kit, the size 6 ring, when I put it on my pointer finger, it would get stuck on my knuckle, but the actual ring doesn't. So I thought, I was like, oh, okay, I made the right decision. It actually fits very comfortably. Come to find out, the issue I was having with when I'm playing tennis, that it rotates around my finger, that's actually because the ring is too loose. So in the sizing kit, it was too tight, bordering on just right. But in the actual product, it feels a little loose.
So initially I thought I would only be able to wear it on my middle finger, but I've taken to wearing it on my pointer finger, which is a little bit bigger, and here it fits snugly and it isn't able to rotate around even when I'm playing sports that require me to use my hands. Speaking of sports, when it comes to working out, I feel like there are a lot of cons to this ring because you're using your hands a lot when you work out. Like if I were to go boxing, there's no way I'd be able to wear this. And then with tennis, sometimes I feel like I have to adjust my grip because I can't grip the racket as well because I have to keep like lifting this finger just a little bit because it's a little uncomfortable. Even with Pilates, when I'm holding on to the bar and things, I feel that it's a little uncomfortable. So I don't think it's the best if your main concern is to track your workouts. This is not for like the hardcore sporty adventure person. Where it does excel is it's very, very comfortable to wear throughout the day and while you're sleeping. So it's great for tracking how you're doing overall in your body. And one really important thing about this ring is there is no subscription. It is a one-time purchase. So you get a lot for your one-time purchase. So those are my thoughts on the Ultrahuman Ring. As I mentioned, this is not a sponsored video. They asked me for my honest thoughts on the product, and that's what I've really tried to convey to you here, which is also why it's taken me so long to make this video, because I wanted to test it out for as long as I could so I could really give you my honest thoughts and my experience. If you are interested in getting the ring, they gave me a 10% off code that I'll put somewhere on the screen, and there's a link in the description box down below. Also, yes, let me point out the elephant in the room. So I did say that this was a 30-day challenge, but because of the disappointing results from my first try, I extended it by 2 weeks. And so I guess technically it's a 44-day challenge, which just does not sound as catchy. How about we call it a 45-day challenge? But really, guys, it's a lifestyle change that I'm gonna implement moving forward for the rest of my days. I'm really sorry if you clicked on this video and you are actually disappointed that I didn't manage to do this in 30 days. One final closing thought for this video. Obviously, this whole thing is not meant to be any sort of medical advice. I consulted my doctor before doing this, and then I also spoke to a nutritionist to figure out what would be the best diet for me. So this is definitely not meant to be taken as medical advice, and you should definitely do your own research before trying out any of these changes for your life. In the end, I'm so happy that I decided to get serious about my own health, and I'm so happy that I did this for myself. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!